La Opinión was started by my grandfather, Ignacio Lozano, who came to the United States from northern Mexico in the early 1900s.
He had a very strong idea about what he wanted to do with his newspaper, and that was to give an open voice to a community that didn't have one, and along the way to help build community again.
I've thought a lot about this, what it must have meant to him, being able to maintain a daily newspaper in Spanish in Los Angeles when you have this tide of anti-Mexicanism. There were laws that excluded Mexicans from participating in multiple areas of social life. In addition to the Depression came the great repatriations of the early 1930s. La Opinión never once did not publish, and it told the story of not just our contributions, but it stood up to defend the rights of millions of people. And it's because of moments in time like that where the determination to continue publishing, to tell the story, that's at the core of what my grandfather believed in. It is the sense of mission that was carried on by my father during the 1950s, the 1960s, with the great movements around civil rights and the Chicano moratorium, and the fact that La Opinión survives and tells the story decade after decade. It's an extraordinary legacy.
La Opinión was known as a newspaper that would challenge power, and particularly when it was unfair, when the scales of justice were applied unevenly.
I remember when I was young, you know, my dad suing the Department of Labor with Cesar Chavez, you know, on behalf of farm workers. We did a ton of work on behalf of immigrants during the Prop 187 period.
And in that context, there was a danger of rumors and inaccuracies pervading the community and causing widespread panic. And I think La Opinión, in getting the true story out, getting accurate figures, getting accurate descriptions of what was going on and when they took effect, was critical to ensuring that the community was able to respond and protect itself appropriately.
I thought it was time for us to help our readers become active citizens, those who weren't citizens to become citizens, and those who were citizens to register to vote and become part of the community, calling their own shots for what was best for them.
This isn't just about providing information. This is about using information that then empowers communities. So that has been at the core of what we've done all across the country. The partnerships that we have with community organizations, the movements that we have been a part of, citizenship, healthcare, quality education, jobs, and small business startups. These are the things that we know lift communities. And we can be what I call the conduit to provide the information upon which people can make decisions to better their lives.
Without a press giving that information, we just don't know what's happening, and we don't have the power to make changes. So it's a really precious thing that we need to guard, and we need to safekeep, and never let the press be silenced.
We wanted to carry on the ideals and the values that our grandfather founded and that our father pursued after that. And we wanted to make sure we didn't lose that.
When my dad retired, I said my dream was to go from a Mexican newspaper in the United States through what my dad called an American newspaper in Spanish to now a newspaper that reflected the hopes and the dreams of all Latinos in Southern California and beyond. So that was our mission. We just kind of kept challenging the stereotypes, challenging people to be better, do better, challenging the political status quo.
They provided much coverage on issues like the minimum wage, immigration issues, deportation issues. They go in, they take a deep dive, and they look at cases, they look at families that have real stories to talk about. And that's really important, it's critical. People can relate to that in our community.
La Opinión has really been a labor of love by a family. They were an advocate for our community. They spoke truth to power. and in doing so, I think really advanced the cause of social justice and equity in our country.
Now we're more than a newspaper, we're social, we're digital, we're, all of that. But at the core, it's really about the content and the empowering capacity of what this company and the legacy means.
I'm tremendously proud to be part of this family and that we got the opportunity to continue what our grandfather started and that our dad worked at for 40 years.
I'm proud of the fact that the newspaper is over 90 years old, and that my children have contributed so much to its success and to their involvement in the community as a whole, not as Latinos, but as fellow American citizens.
It was a good time. We were doing great things. We had great people in the newsroom. We had great people in the business side that were helping finance the mission. It was good times.
My children and my nieces and nephews have that legacy too. And it's given them a sense of belonging, and I think it also stimulates them and motivates them to want to contribute as well.
I'm not sure that what we've been able to accomplish could have happened anyplace else, because this is a city of aspiration and a city of dreams, a city where immigrants come and are able to demonstrate the power of personal conviction and motivation. What I want to be remembered by is not that I ran a great business, but that we helped to improve the world through what we did.